Hallmarkies! Welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. We are so excited today to be bringing you some more fun listening during our shut-in quarantine time, hopefully making your day a little bit brighter. I am Cami Clements, the host for today, and I'm here with my lovely co-host, Anne. Say hi, Anne.
Hi, everybody.
And we have with us a favorite of yours and mine, the guy who's been everywhere, all over Hallmark, and we love watching him in any project he does, Mr. Andrew Walker.
Hey,
Hi, Andrew.
guys. Thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate being on the show, and I'm looking forward to talking to you guys about some movies.
Yes, that's what we love to watch. Well, and welcome back. You've been here on the podcast once before, so everybody loves watching you and loves listening to what you have to say. So
this time I get to see you guys too, though. So
yes,
I'm happy I get to see you. This is a whole different. I've been doing a lot of Zoom this week, which has been so nice. Between my son's school, the teachers have been so kind to get on Zoom and teach class, give us a little break in the day, and and also just friends. Our friends, I think I'm seeing my friends back in Montreal more than I ever have over the past 2 weeks.
Oh, that's good.
So it's been great. There is definitely a silver lining with this, and Zoom calls is one of them. So
you got the time and you got the resources, so why not, right?
That's it. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, Andrew, you should know that on the Hallmarkies podcast, Anne and I are the official Andrew Walker fans.
Oh,
so
yes.
and we're in a bit of a friendly rivalry to see who's your bigger fan. So what are we on, Anne? Round 27 now? Is that what?
Something like that,
this?
you know.
How do you decide this, guys?
We don't. We just mess around.
We just like to play with each other about who's the bigger fan. So it's fun.
Well, I love you both the same. So.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Dang it! We'll just tweet each other pictures of boxing bells.
There we go. Yeah.
Exactly. It's fun.
All right. So what we're doing is we took all of your movies on Hallmark Channel and we split them into Christmas and non-Christmas, and we ranked them. So today we're going to be ranking your Christmas movies. And let me tell you, this was really hard for me.
It's a challenge.
Yes, it was really hard. And one of the reasons why we did just your movies is we're both of the opinion that if you're in a movie, it automatically goes up about 5 notches. Aww. So we're like, we can't compare his movies to any old movies because of course we're going to say he's the best. So we just took your movies.
Oh,
still
guys. Well, I think I've also been very fortunate to work with the girls that I've worked with. So I'll give up, most of the credit to my co-stars, because it's easy to act in front of these girls, that I've been lucky enough to be partnered with.
Well, as an actress, I can say yes. But seriously, just every time you're on screen, you and whoever you're co-starring with have amazing chemistry. Obviously, you have a lot of talent and a lot of dedication. And as a viewer, we really, really appreciate that.
Thank you. That's all I can ask for.
All right.
Yeah, for sure. So we wanted to ask you, for Hallmark Channel, what is your favorite, they have all their seasons of movies. What is kind of your favorite season to act in from all their different ones that they have?
Because you're only missing Summer Nights. That's the only one you haven't been in.
Is that a brand new category, Summer Nights?
It's
been a couple years.
Newer.
How long?
Yeah, it's newer.
Okay. Yeah, Can I include Christmas? Is it Christmas included in that? Or yeah, okay. Then I would definitely say Christmas, because I love being able to celebrate Christmas twice in a year, because we shoot these things in August in Vancouver or Winnipeg, and walking down these quintessential like the set decorators for Hallmark are amazing.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
And the expectations are really high because they have these, the walk and talk scenes
Oh
or
yeah.
they have the set scenes that they have to hit in every single Christmas movie. And one is the skating rink, another one is the walk and talk down the beautiful Christmas tree lined, street, and then
Right.
the festival at the end. So
Oh yeah.
I love being in those settings. It's just it's amazing.
I mean, yeah, how can you be upset when it's like all these beautiful Christmas decorations around you, just like lights and yeah, I bet that's
yeah. So I'd say Christmas for sure, because I get really caught up in the whole moment of it all. So
yeah, and if you move the camera just so that way, then yeah, so
exactly.
That's some very talented camera work right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you see the homeless guy with a T-shirt in the alley. Like,
this is not Hallmark-esque.
It's not Hallmark-esque, yeah.
So if you couldn't do Christmas, then which one would you pick?
If I can do Christmas, I like fall. I'm an East Coast guy, so I appreciate falls, the harvest movies, and there's always a pie eating contest in these harvest movies. So
yes, those are fun.
last one that I did, there was a pie eating contest, and I was looking at these pies for about 5 hours in the day, and the props master said, "Andrew, I'll save you. We have fresh ones that I'll put aside that you can have with the rest of the cast at the end." Ooh. And man, my eyes were bigger than my stomach. I had so much pie that day. I think I made myself, I pied myself out for the next year. I had so much pie at the end of that day. I was just like, I deserve all this pie. I've been looking at it all day.
I've worked hard
for this pie.
That's funny.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite flavor?
Pecan.
That's pecan. My husband's. Yeah, that's my husband's. Loves pecan pie.
Yeah, I love it. I can't do too much of it, but a good slice of pecan pie it is amazing. I just really, satisfies the craving.
So, okay. So now in this podcast, we're going to be ranking your Christmas movies. So out of the 5 that you've done for Hallmark, can you pick a favorite? I know it's hard, but can you?
I would say A Dream of Christmas would be up there as one of my more favorite ones.
Oh, okay.
Just because I love Nikki DeLoach so much. It was our second movie that we worked on together as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So we already had the chemistry and stuff, and I just love her as a person. So, and we had a really good time. And also I worked with a director called Gary Yates, and Gary Yates has done so many Christmas movies for Hallmark and Lifetime. He does a lot of Lifetime as well. But he's also one of my more favorite directors. And he puts together such a great film. Yeah, so I would say Dream of Christmas. Okay, and I did really like the one I did for Movies and Mysteries with Ashley Greene, Christmas on My Mind, that just aired.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
That your director was a friend of mine, McLean. We grew up together. I've known him all my life.
Oh my gosh. Wow. McLean is the best. And you're actually reminding me, he left me a voicemail 3 days ago. And I haven't gone back. Sorry, McLean. Jeez. I'll be calling McLean after.
We still love you, McLean. We love you. But yeah, our dads were business partners, and so we took family vacations together. Yeah, I've known him all my life.
Small world. That's unbelievable. McLean was one of my more favorite directors I've worked with. He's such an incredible collaborator, and I think like some of my more favorite movies that I've been able to do for Hallmark are the ones that they allow us to tweak a little bit along the way. And McLean was really on board with that. And
cool.
And so it was a lot of fun. I mean, obviously you work on these things for 15 days, and you hit the quicker you hit stride, the easier it is with everybody. If you're like, you build a rapport with the director,
right?
By day 2, day 3, you can you have this open dialogue, and it just feels like a lot more of a supportive atmosphere, to work in. So McLean was one of those people I just immediately took to as a person, as a human being first. And I was like, man, this is going to be an easy, this is like, it's not like we're showing up to work every day. We're showing up to, having fun and
Right.
Oh, that's
building the
fun.
story.
Yeah. That makes it really fun.
Yeah, he's a great guy. And he had a lot of great things to say about you when I talked to him. So
I pay him well. Yeah. and Claire, his wife too, is awesome.
Yeah.
We got to meet her. She came up. I think that they're like a combo package usually. They sometimes will help each other out. Like one will come on set with the other and kind of whisper things and
bounce off each other.
Bounce off ideas, yeah.
He usually is the producer and she's the director. So that's usually how they do things. I found out that you were doing Christmas on My Mind and that was McLean's movie. I texted him and I said, dude, you failed to mention that your movie was with Andrew Walker. And he texted back and went, oops. I'm like, oh.
That's funny.
All right.
Well, this is going to be even harder, Andrew, because you have 11 non-Christmas movies. So what of those 11 non-Christmas is your favorite, would you say?
Ooh.
We're going back in time here too.
Oh yeah.
Well, I hate to. Well, I'd have to say it's a perfect catch with Nikki DeLoach again, just because I loved the storyline of playing a professional baseball player.
Yeah,
and I love that he was like, he was kind of like behind the eight ball already. He was a really cocky guy that blew the game, and he went back home to kind of find himself again. And I like broken characters a little bit. So, and that was about as far as you could get with a Hallmark movie. And that was great. I loved that, so.
And you've got a good baseball player build. I thought that was very fitting.
Oh,
it was something that really fit. So
I played some sports back in my day, My manager called me after though, and when he saw the movie, and he's like, "Who taught you how to throw a baseball?" And he's like, "You don't throw a baseball like that."
Oh gosh!
Thank you. You like the movie? Did you like the movie that much? Yeah. I'm a football player. I grew up as a football player, so throwing a football is different mechanics than throwing a baseball. Baseball is like up and over the head, where football is more like
it's
sideways,
more the side. Okay, yeah.
And I didn't throw footballs really. I caught them, and I was a running back, so I was football, so.
Okay.
So throwing balls is not my forte as is, but. Fortunately, that was just a small, little, tiny, sliver of the movie. It wasn't even more than that one scene.
Fun story. Cammie and I actually, over Facebook Messenger, watched that movie together like 2 days ago, just
to prepare
for this, because it came on, and we're like, we're going to watch it. So we set up our phones so we could see each other, and then watch The Perfect Catch. So yeah.
Nice, guys. Was that the first time you saw it?
Oh no.
I seen it. It's been a while. It's been a while though, so it was nice to have it fresh since it happened to come on. We were like, let's just do it. So
yeah. I haven't seen it in a long time either. I haven't seen it in 4 years.
And that's the one where Nikki came at the very beginning of production and told you that she was pregnant, right?
No, that was. That was a perfect catch.
It was Perfect Catch.
Yeah.
So
we were with.
And working with the pregnant woman.
I didn't understand why she was so irritable too. Like it was so strange because I'm getting it mixed up because I think A Dream of Christmas we worked on first, and then it was A Perfect Catch second.
Okay.
So it just felt, I guess, with A Dream of Christmas that we had already worked together before because we just had immediate, chemistry and we also were we were comparing notes on kids. We had just both of us just had kids at that time. So for A Perfect Catch, I knew Nikki. We had this great rapport, and then day 2, I'm like, she's like, something's up, something's off.
A different person.
And it was because what happened was I told her I was going to meet her at 7:00 in the lobby of the hotel for dinner. And I texted her and I was like, hey, can we make it 7:15? Because I'm a huge hockey fan, and it was hockey playoffs, and Montreal Canadiens were playing the New York Rangers. and they were going into shootouts. So I was like, hey, can we make it 7:15? We're going into shootouts. And there was like crickets. And then she writes back and she's like, no, can we meet at 7:10? And I thought she was joking. And I was like, okay, whatever. I ended up meeting her at 7:17 anyways. And she was just like standing there. She's like, are you ready? I'm like, yeah, what's up? This isn't the Nikki that I know.
Oh, wow.
So we started walking, to go grab a bite to eat. And finally she's like, okay, I gotta tell you, I have to tell you. All right. I'm like, what? She's like, I just found out I'm pregnant. So I'm like, oh my gosh, so you've been starving. I made you wait 20 minutes extra. So I get it. Anyways. Yeah.
That's funny.
Water under the bridge.
Inside story, yeah.
Oh my. Okay, well, he kind of already answered.
I was going to say that,
but,
yeah.
I mean, we might as well just say it because we had it. Who's your favorite co-star?
Do you know? I have to say also a favorite movie of mine was My Perfect Valentine, or what was it? Was it
My Secret Valentine?
My Secret Valentine. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
with Lacey, just because I love Lacey. She's awesome. And also because we got to work in an amazing wine country in just 3 hours north of Toronto, Ontario.
Right.
Called Prince Edward County. And there's about 40 wineries there. And it was just an amazing time. It was great. My parents drove down from Montreal and got to spend some time with me there. And so that was awesome. That was a great movie, just location and also working with Lacey.
Yeah. Right.
But my favorite that's such a difficult thing, but
I know, but we had to ask.
Nikki is definitely up there for sure. Lacey, like I mentioned, and I have to say also one of my favorite co-stars is Bethany Joy Lenz.
Yay, I love her.
She and I have known each other for years, and we've done 2 movies now together. And no, she's definitely one of my favorite girls to work with for sure.
Awesome.
One of the few favorites.
One of the few favorites. Yeah, that's totally good. All right. Well, what lady of Hallmark would you like to work with in the future that you haven't already?
I would say Cameron.
I would love to see that.
Yeah. So
hey, Christmas
but
2020.
I know there's a few more that I've thought of, but Jill Wagner. I would love to work with Jill.
Yay! I really want you to work with Jill. That's awesome.
We were supposed to work together last year. She produced one.
That's right. Winter Hearts.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And she texted me and she's like, "Hey, you're gonna get an offer shortly. I put you on my list as the leading male that I'd like to work with." And unfortunately, I had Christmas Con that weekend, but more so than Christmas Con, I also had I started with my wife. We have a juice company here in Los Angeles. And we started Juice Con, a juice conference 2 years ago, and we bring together a bunch of entrepreneurs and juice people. It was like 450 people. It was our second year, and it was a huge event that I was speaking at it, so I couldn't miss it, and they wouldn't let me take the time off to go to Miami to do that if I were to do the movie. So unfortunately we had to shelve that one, take a rain check, but Jill and I are for sure going to work together again.
Well, I have to say, my mom and I are so happy you did not do that, because I got to meet you at Christmas Con and it was so amazing. So I was glad that you weren't there. That's why I knew, because I was at the panel where you said that. So the fans are really
What did
glad.
you think of Christmas Con? It was pretty amazing, wasn't it?
It was so fun. Yeah. What was it?
I'm so jealous.
Was that like overwhelming? Like so much love? Like
there was so much love. It like, and I was saying this to my wife afterwards. I never get a condensed amount of fans in one room. I'm not.
Yeah.
It's like a Matt Damon or something. You don't just leave your door and have a whole bunch of people. But so when you get all these Hallmark fans and people in general that watch Christmas movies, and I've done a few for Lifetime as well, and so it was it was a really great response and just overwhelming. So much love in one room.
Well,
Yeah,
you
it
got
was
2
super
right here,
fun.
so I hope you're feeling it across the distance.
Yeah.
I can handle the 2 of you. I can handle the 2 of you. It's
Okay. Yeah.
He
There's
can
only 2 of
handle
us.
us. He can
Yeah.
handle us.
Well, for fun, Cammie and I actually it came up with 3 dream pairings of you and one of our favorite Hallmark ladies, or just one we think you would pair well with.
okay, guys. Yeah.
So one of mine was Jill Wagner. So that's good. It's already
Right.
in your mind. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
on the list.
Another one, Jen Lilly, which you did the movie guide awards with,
Yeah.
and that gave me the idea. I was like, oh, that would be.
I would also love to work with Jen Lilly. That's actually we were
On your
joking
list.
about it when we hosted the Movie Guide Awards.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
And then my third one is Autumn Reeser. So I think that would be great too.
Oh, these are great girls. Yes. Autumn and I are actually we've been talking about producing something together. I met Autumn for coffee just like 2 months ago.
Oh my
And
gosh.
we're talking about developing a project together.
Okay, well.
So all these girls are on my list already.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad they are.
All right, well, let's see how I do.
Yes.
Okay, so Fiona Gubelman was
Okay,
one that I
yeah.
think that the 2 of you would look really cute together.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, now I said Rachel Boston, and I did not know that you guys had done a Lifetime movie together.
Yes,
So I thought
yeah.
of that one completely on my own.
She did.
And Rachel and I also did an episode of ER together. That's how I first met Rachel. I met
Oh.
Rachel about 12 years ago. We did an episode of
That's
ER
cool.
together. Definitely not a Hallmark story, but
Yeah.
we played a military couple that was separated from each other, and then we got back together again, and she was pregnant, but not with my baby, and
Oh,
it was
wow.
it was a really it was a dramatic episode.
That's
That's
drama.
funny. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So since it's been 2 projects with Rachel, I do have a backup.
Okay.
Julia Gonzalo. I think that.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I love Julie
Julia would be
Gonzalez.
good.
Yes.
Okay. And third and final one, Aaron Krakow. Because the only time we've seen you with Aaron is when you were
I was
the
skunk.
mischief maker,
Yeah.
the con man.
I
So
would
I would love to
love
see the
to work
2 of
with
you as a
Aaron
couple.
Krakow. She just challenged me to the push-up challenge, and I just
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So if I can just segue for just a second here,
yes.
you should know my handle is the Hooked Hardy. So I'm a huge One Calls the Heart. Yes.
Oh,
I
Fan.
I am a fan. I blog about it, and then I podcast about it and all of that. So I just would love to hear a tidbit about your time on One Calls the Heart, because you were the one that we all loved to hate. And I got to tell you, it took me, I had seen you in maybe 1 or 2 other Hallmark projects before I saw you on One Calls the Heart, and it was bugging me. I'm like, who is that? I know I've seen him, but the handlebar mustache, it totally threw me.
I did my job. I did my job.
Yes, you did.
Got
And
into
finally,
character.
it was your voice. Your voice is, I was like, I know that voice. I know I've heard him. So yeah, finally I realized, oh, it's Andrew Walker. Okay. So, but yeah,
It was, man,
what was that?
It was an amazing experience. I have done 3 Westerns before that. I actually played a Mountie in a movie called The Way of the West.
Really?
And I got to, ride horses, obviously, in all the Westerns that I did, and especially these 2 spaghetti Westerns that I did in Tombstone, Arizona. And I actually had my bachelor party in Tombstone, Arizona, because of my love for horses. And I had it was a matter of just a few years where I had rode horses consistently. I didn't grow up riding horses at all. But I did a series back when I was 18 years old that I had to ride a horse in. Anyway, so When Calls the Heart was a little bittersweet, because just a few months before I got cast as Billy Hamilton, I tested for the Mountie, for Jack. Jack? Yeah.
Wow.
No way.
And it was,
oh my
it was
gosh.
Daniel. It was
Whoa.
Daniel. It was up against Daniel Lissing and I.
Oh my god.
My mind has just been blown. Whoa.
And so it could have been Daniel or I, and they gave it to Daniel. And then I got a call from Brian, the creator, not long after. He's like, Andrew, we loved what you did in the room. you know, but we want to guarantee that you'll come back to do a couple episode arc. And I was like, Brian, thank you so much. First off, thank you so much for calling. And, you know, it's really sweet of you. And I'd love to come back. And so I just didn't realize that they wanted me to come back as
competition.
Competition. And I actually loved, I barely got to scratch the surface on that character. Like I felt like I just was getting into it a little bit on the second episode. But I would have loved to have done like 7-8 episodes or have the guy come back consistently, you know, and but he, you know, Billy was played out pretty quickly, but it was a lot of fun. I had a great time working with everybody and the town that they had built out in Abbotsford or Maple Ridge or Abbotsford, but where they shoot it is unreal. It's incredible what they've done there.
Yeah, that's amazing. The town that they built.
Yeah. So I had a lot of fun, and working with Aaron was a treat. I loved it. But I had read with Aaron. We did a chemistry read.
Okay, probably,
yeah. Stands to reason.
Yeah. So we had already felt like we had some chemistry there. So it was fun to see everyone.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, the Hooked Hardy's mind is totally blown. Wow.
My mind is blown. You know what though?
Crazy.
You know what though? It stands to reason. It's totally stands to reason. No wonder I'm such a huge fan of yours.
Right?
Yeah. Well, who knows? You know, I love doing the movies, but I would love to do a TV series for Hallmark. It'd be great. I've actually
you hear that?
Them a few times.
Michelle Vickery, do you hear that?
Come on, Michelle.
Oh, we would love that. If I could see every week, that would be great.
Oh, girls, put a good word in for me.
Oh, we will.
We have so much pull, you know.
We do, yeah.
So much pull. You don't even realize the pull you have.
Oh, we wish.
Apparently not.
Yeah, right.
Hey guys, it's Cammie and Ann. With Mother's Day coming very, very quickly and just fast approaching around the corner, what do you get your mother for Mother's Day? I know that it is always a struggle with me. My mom says, hey, I want this for Mother's Day. That kind of ruins the point. So, and we live with my mother currently. And so it's always really hard to try to get her just the perfect gift. What about you, Ann?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's your mom. It's a big and important day. And so it can be a struggle to kind of find the right thing for a mom. Definitely.
Right. So are you looking for the perfect gift for your mom or even another loved one? Well, we've got what you need. Skylight. Nowadays, staying in touch with those we love is so much easier than it used to be.
Yes.
And it's also more important than ever. And the easiest way to do it is with Skylight, a photo frame you can email photos to. How easy is that?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Don't have to have the right software or any of that. Just email the photos anytime from anywhere. It's a great way to feel close. So, and I live with my mom, like I said, but where's your mom?
I live in Nashville, but my parents are in Atlanta, Georgia. So they're not with me. So it would be really easy for me to just email some photos, to the Skylight Frame. I sent it to my mom, and then she could see, what we have going on and be surprised when it comes on the screen there.
Yeah. And the other thing is multiple people, because it's an email address, multiple people can send to this. You don't have to invite people to a group, which is always so annoying. And it sets up effortlessly, listen to this, in under 60 seconds.
Wow.
And then sending it is effortless. Like we said, everyone in your family can just email photos to Mom's Skylight and they'll pop up in her home in seconds. You can preload it with your favorite photos too. And then you can also have the emails. So now, as a special holiday offer, so if you are looking for just that right gift for mom, you can get $10 off your purchase of a Skylight Frame when you go to skylightframe.com/Hallmark and enter code Hallmark. That's right, $10 off your purchase of a Skylight Frame, which is not a small amount of money. Just go to skylightframe.com/Hallmark and enter code Hallmark. SKYLIGHTFRAME.com/Hallmark. So give a mom a gift she'll enjoy, and enjoy yourself.
I do want to ask you about an upcoming project. I had seen you talked with Ruth Hill about it. What can you tell us about A Girl's Guide to Survival? And maybe that's what you were talking about. You met with Autumn. That's just speculation in my mind. But so what can you tell us about that project? I know you're doing more behind the scenes with that.
Actually, A Girl's Guide Survival is going to be shelved because of all of the shuffling at Hallmark right now. There's a few execs, and one exec in particular that I was working with on A Girl's Guide for Survival, and it was greenlit by Hallmark, but we just found out that they've had to put it on hold for an undetermined amount of time right now. So unfortunately, because of Bill and because of some other things that had shuffled around from there, they just didn't have the bandwidth to because it was Ashley Squires was the exec that I was working on for that project, and she and they had separated ways, and so there's so many projects. Each producer there, as I'm sure you guys know, or I don't know if you know, but each producer works on about 35 to 50 movies, and so their bandwidth is like very narrow, so they couldn't just take the 35 to 50 projects there was two producers that had left. Mary Beth Sprouse. I think that I'm pronouncing her last name right, but Mary Beth left to head up the faith-based division at Sony. And it was all amicable. Like, these people just left, but it was just, it happened, back to back. And so between both these execs, Ashley and Mary Beth, they just didn't have the bandwidth to be able to take on, 80 more movies that were greenlit. And hopefully that it comes back. And
I hope so.
Actually, I was in talks with the writer on Girls Guides to Survival. The project is amazing. It's basically the female version of Bear Grylls.
Yeah.
So it's like
That's
this
fun.
This girl
That's
who's
great.
outdoorsy, and she has her own TV show.
Yeah.
And really timely concept and stuff. And I basically played the male counterpart, where I have my own show. And it's February sweeps, when we basically
both need ratings. Okay,
and then try to boost ratings, but we both get lost in the woods together, and she's the one that ends up finding our way out of the woods and
this sounds so
lighting
great.
the fire and doing all these things. And so
this sounds really so good.
Yeah, it was great. So
I hope they unshelve it. Yeah, I hope they unshelve it sometime soon.
I know.
Yeah, that sounds so fun. Well, do you know, or maybe you can't tell us, if you have any other 2020 stuff coming up?
I do. I was supposed to be in Vancouver right now, actually. Shooting.
Okay, well,
so I guess I was supposed to be there just a few days ago, and we were supposed to start shooting. Day one was going to be on Monday.
Okay.
Oh man.
So
has it been canceled or just pushed?
No, it's not canceled. Just pushed.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Just pushed it. Yeah.
And I know that I'm going to be. I have a few other projects with Hallmark that I know that I'm going to be doing with them.
Okay.
We have we have a deal in place with them that I do a certain amount every year, and I've been super fortunate to work this out with them and have their support and stuff. So
great. That's what we want to hear.
Yeah.
We know there's going to be stuff with you. So that's great.
There'll be at least, a handful more. If I could say that,
For your viewing pleasure, Hallmark.
For your viewing pleasure. And the one that I was supposed to do right now is called Beverly Hills Wedding, and it's an amazing script. It's a ton of fun, the movie. I don't know how much I can say or can't say about it, but it's about a wedding that takes place in Beverly Hills.
Okay.
Whoa.
And it's really the comedic aspect of this movie is I feel like they're pushing the limits a lot more than what they have.
More comedy. Hello.
No, I'm going to nap in the car and go to Vince's
Oh, you are? Okay. Okay, great. We're dropping off some juice to a friend of ours that's a little under the weather. So my wife is going to take
that's so
take him.
nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
sweet.
A little run. That's the beach.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is where we're going to rank our movies. So if you want to stay, you're totally welcome. If you want to go, we don't want to take up too much.
Yeah, we totally understand. Yeah, we don't want to take up all your time.
I'd love to hear where you rank my movies.
Oh boy. I'm really, really glad we're only doing his movies.
Back here.
Oh gosh. I'm really glad we're only doing Christmas now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I actually have a little slice of watermelon for
Oh
the
my
entertainment, guys.
Oh my god. You're ready. Okay.
He's gonna sit back and watch the show.
Sit back and watch the show.
Oh gosh, I'm scared. Okay.
I think I'm.
And we got some popcorn, guys. And we got some popcorn.
You really have popcorn. Oh my goodness.
Make some last night. Look at that.
Wow.
By the way, speaking of your kids, loved the video of you dancing your baby across the counter. So adorable. So cute.
Trying to keep us entertained, you know.
Oh yeah.
In quarantine, yeah.
Desperate times. I know. All right, Anne, what's your number 5 on Christmas? Yes, I'm making you go first.
Okay, great. Thanks. Okay, my number 5 is Christmas on My Mind. And I don't know, it was different than I expected. I think I thought the amnesia was going to be a little bit more comedic than it was. And so I guess that's kind of why I rank it for my number 5. And, you know, just somebody has to be number 5. So that's mine. What about you, Cammie?
Fair.
My number 5 was A Bride for Christmas. You were a bit of a dog.
You know,
that's funny. I like that one.
That was my first movie with Hallmark.
I know.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, you were a bit of a dog.
I was a bit of a dog.
Cammie and I disagree. I guess you'll find out later where I ranked it, but I definitely disagree.
All right, Missy, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is A Dream of Christmas. I'm not really sure why I ranked it number 4. I knew that the first 3 were the first 3, and I knew that Christmas on My Mind was number 5. So this one just happens to be in between that. So it's number 4. I like the chemistry between Andrew and Nikki, but I happen to like the other 3 movies a little bit better. So, yeah. What about you, Cammie?
Good enough. Christmas on My Mind is number 4. I don't know, the storyline was just not exactly what I had expected, but I tell you what moved it up for me was seeing you and Preston as brothers. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, fun.
I remember tweeting and saying, I have to see this again.
It's interesting.
I have to see Preston and Andrew.
It's interesting how you guys rank the movies as opposed to how I rank my movies, because for me it's just how much fun I have on set.
Exactly.
And
right.
Your experience.
I don't even know how to rank my movies when I watch them. It's very strange. Like I'm not like, oh, that was a much better movie than the other one. It was just kind of like they all kind of blend together for me. But I remember how good of a time I had doing it. And that's why Christmas on My Mind was up there as one of my favorites, because
you loved the
Preston,
people you worked with.
Yeah, we had such a great time showing up to work with McLean and Preston and Ashley. And we were just like, everyone was just having such a great time. And we shot in this beautiful little bay in, outside of Vancouver. And the producers were great that I was working with. So yeah, Preston was a lot of fun.
I couldn't put it as number 5. I got a friend who directed it, you know. He'd never forgive me. And also, let me tell you this. McLean was particularly proud of the final kiss in Christmas on My Mind, and I said, yes, that was an awesome moment. So that was something he kept coming back to when we would talk about it. So yeah, he did. Oh, McLean, was I not supposed to say that? I'm sorry. All right. So Anne, what's your number 3?
Number 3 is Merry and Bright. I really enjoyed this one. I thought that you and Jodie had really good chemistry, and I liked the story as well. I thought it was fun, and like and that how she kind of like softened up to you, and I liked y'all's banter. So yeah, that was fun. So that was, and I loved the ending. I did not expect that the proposal, and that like I was like, oh my gosh, and I was like, you know, because it can be kind of hard to be surprised sometimes in a Hallmark movie, but I was genuinely surprised, and I like that. So that was my number 3. What about you?
We're in sync. My number 3 is Merry and Bright.
All right.
So,
Nice.
that scene when she thinks that you're her blind date and you're really the troubleshooter. I died laughing. It was so funny.
I'm your guy. Yeah.
The banter between the two of you was so well written, and then of course very well executed. And anytime there's a kiss in the middle of the movie, it immediately gets shot up about 10 points for me.
Yeah,
because I like that movie. Yeah, and
that's always fun.
I like that so much better than when it's just thrown in the last 30 seconds. So, so I said, oh, there's a kiss in the middle, automatic uppage.
Yeah. So. Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, number 2, Anne.
Okay, number 2 is Dashing Through the Snow. I like this one a lot. I love the chemistry with oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, on Chesapeake Shores. Meg Ori.
Yeah.
Yes, I love the chemistry with Megan, and I always love the Hallmark movies where people are like stuck together. It's always kind of, I like that trope, the stuck together trope.
Yeah.
So that's fun. And then the whole FBI angle was just kind of nuts and kind of fun. So I like that too, something different. Yeah. So yeah, I really like that one. I actually really want to record it so I can watch it again. Maybe. Well, they keep doing these these weekends, and maybe I'll get to watch it. But yeah,
they'd probably air it.
I hope so.
A fun fact on that movie: I didn't think I was gonna be able to do it because I tore my Achilles tendon.
Ooh. That's right, I heard
about a month
about that.
And a half before I did that movie.
Oh my gosh!
And we had just had a baby, and when I got the call for the movie, I was like, I told my manager, I'm like, Mark, I really need this job. This would this help a lot. And he's like, well, can you walk? And I'm like, yeah, I think I'll put my boot on. And then we got the script, and I read through the script, and I'm like, 90% of this movie takes place in a car.
In a car, yeah.
And so we told the producers, and we said, hey, look, full disclosure, Andrew can't walk really well, but he can walk with a boot if you shoot him from the waist up. So every time you see a walk and talk, I'll
have to pay attention to that.
A little limp in that movie.
A little bit. Okay. I never noticed it. I'll have to definitely pay attention.
Yeah, I found out about that yesterday. So,
Rachel told us. Yeah.
Yeah, Rachel told us. Completely escaped my notice. So.
Yeah, I didn't notice either.
It's like that scene in Princess Bride when Wesley's saying, "Who was this love of yours?" And the reason why he's walking so gingerly is because he had sprained his ankle or something like that, and so and he's trying to stretch it out while he's sitting down. So, and I never would have known. So yeah, it completely escaped my notice. So well done.
Great. Did
it hurt? Did it hurt to walk? I mean,
no, it was more just uncomfortable, just because there's no ligament manipulation at all at that point. Like it's still just kind of like a dead foot,
Trying to heal.
So
sure.
Wow. But it wasn't. At least it didn't have any pain.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, that is good.
My performance might have been off a little bit if I was on painkillers as well as acting.
Yeah, that's true.
Substance-free performance, guys. Substance-free performance as always.
Stand down, heart.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's my number 2 as well, Dashing Through the Snow.
Okay.
I loved it. And one of the things that I loved most about it, it was something that we had never seen before. We've never seen somebody being tailed because of fraudulent suspicion. And so I thought that was brilliant. And once again, the banter. And if you don't have good banter in a car,
Oh yeah,
the
that's gonna
whole
be a long
script is
movie.
dead.
Long movie,
Yeah. The whole script is dead, and you guys worked so well. I really especially enjoyed her. No, I've seen how this movie ends. I'm not getting in that car with you.
Yeah, that was funny.
And once again, had a kiss in the middle of the movie. Instant shot up. Loved it.
I forgot that
So-
we had a mid
early kiss, yeah.
Early kiss, yeah. So, and I mean, this, I don't know if it just added a funny element or if it endeared more, but your interaction with the puppy, it just,
Oh yeah.
your total annoyance. You know?
Megan almost adopted that puppy.
I bet she did.
Oh my gosh.
That would
I guess
not
she
surprise
spent 3
me.
weeks with him, so yeah, that's a
that
long
would not
time.
surprise me in the
Her husband,
slightest.
like every day at the end of our day, she's like, they got to hear her on the phone. Are you sure? He's so cute.
Oh.
I can't bring him home.
Oh man. Oh man. All right, Anne. Moment of truth. What's your
All right,
number one?
yeah.
Okay, well, there's only one left, and we
I know, there's
obviously
only-
disagree. So I love A Bride for Christmas. I think, Andrew, that you play a really great, whatever you want to call it, bachelor, more.
I was gonna say
or
confirmed
bachelor kind of guy. I thought he played that so well, and I love the chemistry with Ariel, and it was so good. I love, like, it's kind of like the How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days vibe, like,
Yes,
you're
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to get engaged to her, and I like that trope as well. So I love that. I love the bachelor into a man in love story, and I think it's great. I don't agree with Cammie. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, you guys are.
I liked it.
I'm okay.
Yeah,
Bride for Christmas was a lot of people's favorite. I get a lot of people saying that it's their favorite.
I've
Christmas.
heard that too. Yeah. I
Remember
always
that
look
these
for it
are
when they do the
just
marathons.
Andrew Christmas movies. So I still loved it. It's just, if I have
Compared
to
to all his movies, I
something
see.
has to be last.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
At least
What's your
I'm
number
not
one?
last on your male, your male leads.
Oh no.
Not even close.
Yeah. Oh no. So I'm trying to think. Okay, what's your number one, Cammie? I think I know because I'm trying to.
Number one, Dream of Christmas.
That's right. Okay.
Just,
So we totally switched. Yeah.
Yeah. I just loved it. I loved the juxtaposition of you as the loving husband versus you as the stranger, and how she's trying to be playful and romantic with you, and you're just, what? Am I supposed to know you? You know?
Yeah.
And I also really just got a total kick out of you and Christopher basically switching names. That just made me laugh. You know, that his name was Andrew.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, that's just funny. So, and in a lot of those tropes, they have the successful businesswoman and they show her what family life would be like in the dream or the flashback or whatever. But I thought this was a really interesting spin where they took the family woman who's just kind of tired of her life, and they show her what her life would be like as this high-powered executive, and she decides she doesn't like it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
she would
I
rather
love
have her
that
husband.
with a female, and it was like, because originally it was the Nicolas Cage movie, Family Man. Did you ever see that? Family
Yeah.
Man?
Long time ago.
What these, it was basically just the female version of Family Man. Family Woman.
But yeah, I loved that one. And also that final kiss, you so worried about her. Penny, are you okay? And then she's just so happy, and you're like, oh, okay. And you're just so happy that she's so happy. It's the perfect ending to a Christmas movie.
Yeah, that's Gary, man. Gary's great at putting these stories together. Another Gary Yates movie. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you've done how many movies with him? It's a lot, right? 5. I was gonna say
I've
I
done
saw
5 with him.
Yeah, that it was a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, he just told me after the last one, he says he never wants to work with me again.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Gary's
what did
so
you
funny.
say?
I'm like, well, see you in the next one, Gary.
See you next year.
See you on the next one, because he always says that every movie we do, he's like, I don't want to work with you again. I'm done now. We're done now.
Did you? Good night, Wesley. Good work. Sleep well. Most likely kill you in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
That's it.
Funny.
Did you change his cell phone settings to Turkish or something? Is that what? I mean, what did you do?
No, he's just a funny guy.
It's just y'all's joke.
After
Yeah.
we've done 3, he's like, well, if I can't find anybody, I guess I'll give it.
That's funny.
Yeah, we have a great time working with each other, and it's awesome because he's an indie film guy, and he actually another fun little fact, he cast me in Bride for Christmas, the first movie that I did for Hallmark, and he cast me from a movie that he saw. I played a neo-Nazi skinhead, and
Oh yeah, I've seen that on your IMDb.
I saw that poster.
Farthest thing from a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
So he's like, I want that guy for Bride for Christmas.
Wow.
And they offered me the role from him
saying that. Wow.
Yeah, saying that.
Well, thanks, Gary. We appreciate you.
We love you, Gary.
Gary. 19 movies later with Hallmark, I gotta give the guy.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, he has an eye. That's awesome.
Yes, indeed. Well, Andrew, thank you so much for coming on with us and talking Christmas movies with us and a whole lot of other stuff.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for having me and supporting my career. I really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah,
we love it. We love watching it. We love following it. So you just keep it coming. And, I guess we can let you keep making them. I think we'd die if you didn't. So.
Yes, we look forward to them. We really do.
Very much.
Thanks, guys.
So do you have any social media that you would like to share?
Sure. Yeah, my Instagram is awalk with 2 Ks 35, AWALKK 35, and that's also my Twitter.
Awesome. All right, Anne, where can people find you?
You can find me at awscott21 on Instagram and Twitter.
All right, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Cami Drama Girl, Cami spelled Kami, on Facebook, the Hooked Hardy Facebook page, and my blog is hookedhardy.com. You can also follow the Hallmarkies Pod all over social media, Hallmarkies Pod or Hallmarkies Podcast. And if you're listening on iTunes, please give us your ratings and reviews. And if you're on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. We really appreciate it. We also have our Patreon group and our merch store with lots of Hallmarkies, Postables, and Hardy's inspired merch. So come on over and enjoy, and be safe, be healthy, everyone. And we look forward to talking with you again. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.